A group of people are trapped in a square room with various traps and don't know how to find a way out. The title of the movie is Cube, and it will definitely surprise you. A young man wearing a blue jumpsuit crawls inside a huge cube. The entrance to this strange room closes automatically. The man takes a few steps and opens another passage. There is an identical cube behind it. The man crawls into it and moves to the next passage. Alas, in doing so, he activates a deadly trap. It means the unfortunate man's game is over. A young guy wakes up in the middle of a huge cube. An older guy looks at him in amazement. They are all dressed in the same blue outfit. Another boy sits in the corner of the strange cube. None of them understand how or why they are here. They have no cell phones, no money, no ID. Suddenly, one of the passageways into this mysterious room opens. Someone's shoe falls from there, followed by a barefoot man with a beard and a mustache. The three guys in the cube beg him to explain what's going on. At this point, the room starts shaking. The barefoot man climbs to the ceiling and opens a hatch. The poor guy we saw at the beginning of the movie falls out of it. He has a huge hole in his chest. People in the cube are shocked by this scene. Another passage opens, and a young girl appears in it. She looks at everyone with great surprise, says hello, and asks who they are. The girl crawls inside and looks cautiously at the body on the floor. One of the guys panics, opens one of the hatches and tries to escape. The barefoot man stops him right in time. He throws his shoe in the passage, and it was a smart move. Turns out this place is equipped with flamethrowers. The characters go back and try to get through the other passage. The barefoot man advises them to follow him if they want to survive. After some thought, they agree. No one wants to repeat the fate of the poor man lying on the floor. The girl introduces herself to everyone. Her name is Kaya Sako. The young men's names are Ochi Shinji and Goto Yuchi. The barefoot man says his name is Ida Hiroshi. The fifth prisoner is Uno Chiharu, and he's a middle school student. None of them remember the moment they ended up here. They didn't do anything out of the ordinary. They worked, slept, studied, and drank. The protagonists move forward. Luckily, Ida has another shoe. These cubes seem endless, and the men decide to mark them to see if they're going in circles. Thanks to the second shoe, they manage to find another trap. Now, Ida asks Goto for his footwear, as he has just lost his last boot. The characters continue their dangerous journey. Sometimes they notice some numbers on the roof and the walls, but they can't figure out what they mean. Goto opens another hatch and finds an elderly man in the neighboring room. His name is Kazumasa Ando, and he is very happy to see living people here. He thinks they have come to rescue him. Unfortunately, they haven't. Now, they need to find a way out together. Another safe passage is in the ceiling. The protagonists make a rope from their shirts and lift the weakest, namely the old man and the schoolboy. These cubes seem endless. In one of them, the lights suddenly go out, and a strong wind begins to blow. The thing is that there are huge fans on the ceiling, and they are gradually descending. Frightened, people fall to the floor, find another hatch, and miraculously manage to escape from the dangerous trap. Despite the rescue, the characters lose hope of getting out of this place. Chiharu admits that he hates adults, but teams up with Goto to find out what the strange numbers on the wall mean. Using their knowledge of math and Goto's button, they figure out that these numbers are clues. They can be used to determine if there is a trap in the room or not. If the number is prime, there is definitely a trap in it. Well, now they don't have to waste their shoes. People regain hope. They continue on their way and pass more identical rooms. Alas, one of the cubes contains exits that lead only to rooms with traps. They have to cross one of them. How are they supposed to get through this trap? Hold on, it seems to detect sound. If they don't make a single sound, they can pass it safely. Goto goes first, Kai comes next, and the rest of the group follows her. The last to go is Old Man Ando. At that point, Ochi drops his shoe and a loud sound from the impact activates the trap. Ando manages to jump into the passage at the very last moment, but hurts his leg. The old man becomes furious and calls Ochi a bastard. Soon the protagonists find another clue. It turns out that these rooms have different sizes and resemble the cells of a huge beehive. At that moment, the room fills with some kind of a gas. People once again miraculously manage to escape. At least now they know that these rooms are not infinite. That's when another problem arises. In yet another room, they find the same ill-fated guy with the hole in his chest. It appears they've gone in circles and are back at the place where they started their journey. Or maybe the body was brought here to confuse them. The room starts shaking as if it's an earthquake. Apparently, these cubes are moving. This makes the task even more difficult. However, the main characters have no intention of giving up and keep looking for a way out. Ida is striving especially hard. It looks like this man is in a big hurry. People have to use their shirts as ropes once again. One of the rooms they got into starts moving as well. Chiharu is still in the passage at that moment, so he falls into the adjacent room. Goto jumps after him and saves the kid from yet another deadly trap. Goto himself is saved by Ida. Chiharu and Goto manage to escape, but Ida is not so lucky. He is burned by a laser beam. His game is over. The survivors are desperate. Ida was the smartest and bravest of them. Without this man, their chances of salvation are slim. Goto resumes calculating something. He says that the numbers on the wall of each cube can be used to figure out its coordinates. They have to keep moving. Goto goes first. He is sure that he can reach the edge of this giant cube. Ochi is the only one who refuses to go forward. He is too tired. Goto barely manages to convince him, even though this guy is having a hard time too. His life was pretty tough. Ando is sure that this labyrinth is a punishment for their sins. He confesses that he's a bad person. At that moment, an iron grate appears in the middle of the room and separates the characters. Ando opens the hatch and leaves. After a moment's hesitation, Ochi says after him. Goto, Kai and Chiharu remain on the other side of the grate. They have to go the other way. We see Ando using his boots the way Ida did earlier. Goto and his companions enter another room. They see a stairway instead of one of the walls. Goto once ran up the exact same stairs to save his younger brother Hiroto. Unfortunately, the guy failed to dissuade his brother from committing a terrible deed, and he made his last step from the roof. Remembering all of this, Goto starts screaming wildly. He looks at Chiharu and sees his younger brother. Let's go back to Ando and Ochi. They also continue on their journey, arguing along the way and calling each other losers. It looks like they really hate each other. Some strange sound is heard in their room. Ochi pounces on Ando and hits him with the hedge cover. Now the game is over for the old man as well. What are Goto, Kai and Chiharu doing? They're sitting in one of the rooms, and Goto is once again drawing something with his button on the floor. Instead of calculations, he writes the name of his little brother, Hiroto. Chiharu screams and blames the guy for his brother's death. Afterward, the schoolboy opens the next hatch and jumps down. Luckily, Goto manages to catch him and drag him back up. They hug and cry bitterly. Kai opens another hatch. There is a huge empty space behind it. The protagonists climb it and feel the wind blowing. They seem to have reached one side of the huge cube. Yet, there is a problem. They are at a height of about 50 meters. The guy notices one of the rooms moving. That may be the exit. They need to find a room with the number 999. The characters set off in search of it and meet Ochi on their way. The guy is madly happy to see them. Goto notices red stains on his clothes. Ochi lies that Ando got in a trap and laughs hysterically. Everyone believes him except Chiharu. The boy suspects Ochi of hiding something and shares his concerns with Goto. At that moment, they find a room with the number 999. Kai climbs in. Goto rushes after her, but Ochi grabs the guy and throws him to the ground. Ochi admits that he got rid of the old man and did it out of jealousy. Ochi is poor and practically unemployed, while the old Kazumasa was the director of a big company. Ochi says he is capable of anything in a state of rage and pounces on Goto. Chiharu defends his companion, but he's clearly not strong enough. Ochi lounges at Goto again and tries to cut his life short. The guy again recalls all of the important moments of his life and fights off the insane Ochi. Seconds later, Ochi gets caught in a trap. His game is over too. Iron rods appear all over the room. Chiharu manages to escape through the hatch to another room, but Goto has no time to do so. It looks like this is the end for him as well. The only survivors are Kai and Chiharu. They get to the transporting room and move to the top. They finally find a way out. There is a path that leads to freedom in front of them. Chiharu picks up Goto's button. He says he wants to change his life and heads for the exit. Surprisingly, Kai doesn't follow him. She says goodbye to the boy and watches him walk away. The hatch closes. We see another room of the giant cube. Someone's body falls through the hatch on the ceiling. It's Goto. He's hurt, but he's alive. After taking a few breaths, the guy gets back on his feet. His game continues. We see that Kai isn't a real person. She's probably the warden in this maze. The girl opens the hatch and greets the new participants of the experiment.